Assalamualaikum dear students of class 11th. Hope you are fine. As now we have completed a lesson titled Landscape of the Soul, written by Nathalie Treviroy. In today's lesson we will discuss it is exercise questions. Now let's start. Understanding the text. Question number first. Contrast the Chinese view of art with the European view with examples. Answer of this question is the Chinese form of art is based on imagination and shows inner and spiritual approach of the artist, whereas the European art form is real and reproduces an actual view of object from the landscape. Let me repeat the answer. The Chinese form of art is based on imagination and shows inner and spiritual approach of the artist, whereas the European art form is real and reproduces an actual view of the object from the landscape. Part number second. Explain the concept of Shanshui. Shanshui. Answer is Shanshui is a Chinese concept of art which means mountain water. It is used together to represent the word landscape. The two complementary poles, yin and yang, of an image reflect the Taoist view. Question number second. Part first. What do you understand by the term outsider art and art brut or raw art? Answer. Outsider art is the art made by untrained artists, for example, children or mentally ill person. And uh, art brut or raw art is a type of art made people who are not professionals, but they create an art piece with their own depth and understanding, and not from the stereotypical form of classical or fashionable art. Question number it is 2, part number second. Who was the untutored genius who created a paradise, and what is the nature of his contribution to art? Answer. Untutored genius who created a paradise was Nick John. He was an 80-year-old creator director who made the world famous rock garden in Chandigarh. He used everything from a tin to sink or anything which he felt as an art form. One of his famous creations are Women by the Waterfall. Now, talking about the text, discuss the emperor may rule over the territory he has conquered, but only the artist knows the way within. Answer. The statement means the emperor. Emperor rules over the territory which he has conquered and have the power, but the artist knows the path and mysterious work of the universe. The artist can go beyond the materialistic appearance of objects, no matter how powerful the emperor was. The artist's true art form can be seen the way he wants to show them. Now, question number 2, discuss the landscape is an inner one, spiritual and conceptual space. Or discuss the landscape is an inner one, a spiritual and conceptual space. Answer. The statement landscape is an inner one, a spiritual and conceptual space means that a Chinese artist wants the viewer to enter the mind rather than borrowing his eyes to view his art piece. Let me repeat these lines. The statement landscape is an inner one, a spiritual and conceptual space means that a Chinese artist wants the viewer to enter his mind rather than borrowing his eyes to view his art piece. This requires both physical and mental participation. Viewer can enter the painting from any point and travel from one point to another point as it is not a real one. It is an inner, spiritual, and abstract space of the artist. Thinking about the language. Thinking about language. Find out the correlates of yin and yang in the cultures. Find out the correlates of yin and yang in other cultures. Answer: in India, in Indian culture, yin which is a respective, yin which is receptive and a female part, and yang which is masculine and male part are known as Maya and Brahma. Right? Nature is the yin and God is the creator of the universe. Likewise, yin yang, the two combinations of Maya and Brahma, creates a world. Let me repeat: in Indian culture, yin which is receptive and female part, and yang which is masculine and male part are known as Maya and Brahma. Nature is the yin and God is the creator of the universe. Likewise, yin yang, the two combinations of Maya and Brahma, creates a world. What is the language spoken in Flanders? Answer: French language is spoken in Flanders, which is situated in Belgium. Now, landscape of the soul lesson grammar exercise. The following common words are used in more than one sense: panel, studio, brush, SNS, material. Examine the following set of sentences to find out what the words panel and SNS mean in different contexts. Number first is: the mosques from Bawa village in Male look like long panels of decorated wood. The mosques from Bawa village in Male look like long panels of decorated wood. So the answer is it is board of decorated wood. Board of decorated wood. Right? Panel here means board of decorated wood. Judge H. Hobart Grooms told the jury panel he had heard the report. The answer is group of people selected to give unanimous verdict on a legal case. Now the third part is the glass panels of the window were broken. The glass panels of the window were broken. That is group. It is actually window panes. The panel is laying. Part number 3. Let me repeat it. The panel is laying the groundwork of for an international treaty. The answer of this is that is group of experts. Now the fourth one is the glass panel of the windows were broken. That is window panes. इसका आंसर है that is window panes. Now fifth part. Through many round tables, workshops and panel discussions, a consensus was reached. A consensus was reached. Now the answer of this is it is group discussion, right? Now sixth part, the sink in the hinged panel above the bunk drains into the head. The sink in the hinged panel above the bunk drains into the head. Now the answer of this part is that is a flat board fixed with a hinge. Now the second question: Their repetitive structure must have taught the people around the great composer the essence of music. It is actually the answer is board of it is the answer of this is the intrinsic intrinsic quality of something which determines its character. Intrinsic quality of something which determines character. Now the B part is part of the answer is in opposition, but the essence is the meaning. As per the essence is the meaning, the answer of this is the main part, right? Now the third part, the implications of these schools of thought or of practical essence for the teacher. The answer is that is practical importance. Thank you very much.